Hi, this is Brian from Old Mountain Woodworking. Thanks for checking out my video today. Today I'm going to show you how to make a chainsaw mill, Alaskan mill for $30 or less with parts that I already have, chainsaw that I already have, or things that I've picked up from a local home goods store. For starters, I start getting myself warmed up in my workshop with my barrel stove. That's the only source of heat I have in there. And here's my receipt from my local Home Depot, picking up some stainless steel parts for the most part. I plan on using this in the future, and I didn't want to get anything that was going to rust or corrode in the future, so I went with stainless steel. You can go with something cheaper if you want to, if this is just going to be something you're going to, attempt once, but I plan on trying to use this more than once. So here I am laying out all my parts just to get them organized. I went with 1/2 inch threaded rod, stainless steel, and most of the other parts are stainless steel. A couple of them I think are zinc coated because they didn't have them in stainless steel. Maybe the wing nuts, I can't remember for sure. Should show up on that receipt that I posted a minute or two ago. Um, so I'm doing prep work. I need to drill 1/2 inch holes through the chainsaw bar. Don't worry, it doesn't destroy your bar. You can always take it off later if you want to. Um, I plan on getting a different bar and chain in the future anyway, so this was kind of my dive into saying, okay, this is just, I'm going for it. Izzy Swan makes something called a drill-powered wrench, and it uses a through a through socket and attaches to a wrench. Anyway, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. You can check that out on his channel. If you haven't checked out Izzy Swan's channel, you're doing yourself a disservice. Check him out. He's amazing. Um, but I'm threading on these nylon locking nuts all the way down, and I really should have done this in reverse. I should have put them on and then put the bar on and then put the other locking nuts on the other side. Would have been a lot quicker, but um, I got it done. So there it is sitting on top of the board, just kind of, I already drilled the holes in the board to get the chainsaw attached to the board that's going to ride. I'm using some PVC, and later on in the video at the end you'll see I changed that up. I decided to use some copper pipe instead of the PVC. It was kind of a mistake on my part because it's right next to the motor right there, and it's going to melt. It's really, I don't know why I thought PVC was going to be a good idea. But I've got these teeth that are in the way. Not the teeth from the blade of the chain, but the teeth there. And I needed to take those off because they were getting in the way of the PVC spacer that I had on there. So I took that off in order to make it fit. I wanted to get the biggest amount of cut space possible, so I drilled that hole really close to the saw. So out behind my workshop, I've got a woodshed. I've got a bunch of pieces of cherry sitting back there, and I decided to mill up a board of cherry. This one is about, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 inches at its widest diameter. And the saw, you'll see later in the video also that it can handle up to about 15 inches, but that's without rocking it back and forth. It was just making a straight cut. Um, this is probably the widest or close to the widest that I plan on cutting slabs. And for the most part, I'm going to be cutting them, large, maybe 4 to 6 inch slabs, and then taking it to my bandsaw to resaw it to smaller sizes. And I can run it through my planer, run it through my joiner, or reverse that. Run it through my joiner, run it through my planer, but everything needs to dry first. This wood is pretty dry, which reminds me I need to pick up a moisture meter. So if anybody knows of a good moisture meter that's economical, because honestly I don't have all the money in the world to spend on a moisture meter, please leave that in a comment and I'll check it out. So this is my first cut. I'm getting into this log right now. I've got that lip that sits out maybe about 4, maybe 5 inches ahead of the saw, so I could get that up on the board and kind of help the saw from rocking, back and forth. I wanted to make it so it would give me enough of a lip to keep it steady. And I'm probably going to end up putting on a handle in the future, and maybe a little bit of a weight or something to really counterbalance it so the saw stays put. Now this segment of the video I wanted to shoot in real time, so if you want to skip ahead, feel free, but this video portion of this segment is probably going to be about 4 minutes long. Wanted you to see really, like, this is a 5 foot log that I'm milling right now, and I'm using a standard chain. I'm not using any skip tooth or ripping chain, which I plan on getting in the future. But this is real time. It takes a while, and it takes a lot of patience. So the better setup you have for that patience, the easier it's going to be on your back. Because this started hurting my back. Even I've got it propped up, and I've got the log probably pitched at about a 30-degree angle to help gravity, or to have gravity help me slide that saw and that guide board down this log as it cuts. And it did take a while. Definitely left me wishing I had a ripping chain, but I was a little bit hasty. I really wanted to get this thing up and running, so I just decided to go for it and see what I got. So ripping chain is definitely in the future. I'll be posting more videos after I get the ripping chain and show a comparison of speed. You may also notice this saw it's a Poland Pro 20-inch bar. I honestly can't remember exactly which model it is. I believe it's the 46cc, but it's a typical homeowner saw. It's not a professional saw. It's not like a Steel or a Husqvarna. Eventually I'm going to get a better chainsaw to do my milling with, but this was really just to get my feet wet. So let's skip ahead to a time lapse. Things go a bit quicker now. I didn't mill through this entire log because of the setup I had there, and I lost a little bit of video footage because I thought I was recording, but I didn't lose it, so I guess I wasn't recording. But yeah, this is what the log looked like after I finished milling through the entire thing. And this is what that PVC looked like after I was done milling through the entire thing. The PVC melted because it's too close to the motor, got hot, so later on I replace it with some copper. Copper, much better option, plus the copper, 1-inch copper pipe fit right over those bolts perfectly. The width I was able to get on this was about a 15-inch width, but the largest log I think I'll ever cut might be 13 inches. We'll see what I push this thing to in the future. That's how she sits right now. Doesn't really take up too much space if I just leave it like that, and it's easy to unbolt and bolt back on just to cut regular stuff. Now this is a piece of hickory that I milled from my brother-in-law's property. Now this is about 4 inches thick, maybe just shy of 4 inches thick, and this is a piece that I'm going to end up taking to the bandsaw and cutting up into smaller boards. Probably going to cut into some 8/4 stock, maybe 8/4 by 8/4. Possibly use it for table legs. If you like this video, if you want to check out my Etsy shop or really anything I've got going on, here's one of my business cards I just got made up. Or you can give a call. We can take custom orders, do cutting boards, do all kinds of little stuff that you usually wouldn't see anywhere else.